G'day prospectors, Tony Pilkington from Gold Talk, Leonora. Man, what a day have we got today. It's rehab day today. We had just under 2 inches of rain here over the last week or so, or about a week ago. And whilst that's never good for prospecting or dry blowing or anything else, it's really good for the country. So, you know, there's time for everything. So an absolutely magnificent day today. Out here just west of Leonora. And as I said, it's definitely too damp still to be running dirt for a dry blower. But that's a good thing in some ways, because it forces me, because I like running dirt, but it forces me to keep right up to scratch with my rehabilitation work. And what we also do is, because we always have projects stacked up and projects that we're working on in advance, so because the dirt's been wet, what I've been doing is stockpiling dirt, just been bulking up with the dozer. And so in a few weeks, when we're finished on this particular project, 3 or 4 weeks, and we're moving over to the next one, the dirt will already be stockpiled pretty much and raring to go. More on that a bit later. So the one thing, it's funny, I've always wondered what to talk about in these things, but there's always things that crop up which seem to be worth talking about. And it's a small point, but I think it's an important one, because whilst you've always got prospectors that don't give a rat's, and you know, they'll go where they want and everything else, and that's just human nature, I feel that most people are trying to do the right thing, and particularly when they're starting off, it's sort of a big concern to know where you are. Hang on, I'll just go this way a little bit. Oopsies. Yeah, I think people are genuinely trying to do the right thing out here. And there's sort of a army of people that go on tag-along tours, and this is sort of, I'm slowly getting to the point each year, and I think tag-along tours are great. I mean, you know, I sort of think they're great for 1 or 2 times while you're learning the ropes, and it's not my cup of tea, but for some people it's the way they like to do it, and go on camps and a bit of security with other people there, and I certainly get that. But the thing to remember is that with your WA miners right, it doesn't matter whether you're on a camp or an organised tour, the burden of responsibility is on you as the miner to make sure you're prospecting legally. And the reason why this came up, my little thing slipped over. Oopsies. Good thing it's a GoPro and not something gentle. Anyway, we'll fix it up again. Anyway, so the reason why this came up was sometime a few weeks back, we were contacted by people that had done a training course with us, and so they had a reasonable idea of the rules and regulations, and then they were going on a tag-along tour, and the company involved were using Section 40Es, and the prospectors that I knew didn't feel right about it, and just said, look, you know, can we please see our Section 40E papers? And the response there was that, oh, whoops, by mistake I've left them at home. And they said, look, they got in contact with me and said, Tone, what do you do? And the advice I gave them is the advice I'm giving you, is that at any stage, I sort of feel that at the beginning of a tag-along tour, and certainly the way that we do it, is that they need... Sorry again, I've got to get myself one of those doohickeys. There we go. We'll put it up there again and see if we can get it dropped a third time. So the thing that, like I was saying, or trying to say, is that I sort of feel that any tour operator that's any good should be telling people exactly where they are, and if they have written permission to be there, then I believe it's more than fair and reasonable that the customers can cite an original copy of the correspondence, because any arrangement has to be in writing. Or in the case of a Section 40E, then those 40Es are shown to the people. What the people did, and what I suggested they did, is all they've got to do is, and all you have to do is ring up any mines department, so the Department of Mines Industry Regulation Safety. You ring up any office and explain the situation, and all you need to do is give them a tenement number and your surname, and they can tell you whether you have a current Section 40E that pertains to that tenement. And in this particular case, you know which way this story is heading. In this particular case, the tour operator did not have a 40E for these people, and so these people did the right thing and left the tour. Because as I said, the responsibility is on you as the miner's right holder, not your tour operator. And if push came to shove and you got done for illegal mining, it is you that'll get done for illegal mining and be in front of the magistrate, not the tour operator. So the thing is that you can't, I don't know what the right way to put it is, you can't just bury your head in the sand and say, well, I'm paying someone to take me out bush. It does not work like that. You have a legal responsibility to know where you're detecting and prospecting at all times. Lisa and I do run camps that are once a year, twice a year, that sort of thing. Just not so much tag along tours, but where we take people out bush. And we do a bit of prospecting, but it's really just showing people how we work and everything else. And we only take them onto live tenements, our own live tenements. We really don't take people to pending ground or ground that they can access on their own. I just don't feel right about that, but that's just my personal opinion. So it's something that you need to watch out for. It's a minor thing, but it could be a big thing. And it really is, as I said, your responsibility to know where you are at all times. Okay. Next Saturday is the APLA annual general meeting over at Mount Maggot. And Lisa and I are heading over to do a talk on something. We've only been given 20 minutes to do it, which for me is hard work, keeping in 20 minutes. But if you're over that way and you've met us before, been on the courses, or even not, just shake my hand and say good day, and we'd love to meet you. Then the last thing for the year for us is on October the 22nd and 23rd. We've got our one-day training series down in Mandurah, which is starting up again. So you can go to our website and find all those details. But if you haven't been along to that, we'd love to see you along. So that's it. It's more rehab. That's my day. Going to be spent sort of sorting material out and grading it out. And hopefully you're still planning trips and getting up here, because even though we've had a bit of rain, it's drying out nicely. And days like today, geez, this is what life is all about. It's as good as it gets. Anyway, prospectors, take care and keep that point in mind. See ya.